Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump, Powell, appointments, and firings. Trump has been once again toying with firing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He's tossing various reasons, but at the core of the dispute is the fact that Powell won't sign off on one of Trump's economic theories. Trump is under the belief that if Powell drastically cuts interest rates, it will spur massive economic growth without consequence. Trump's economic plans are not grounded in any big picture theory. Powell is concerned about a massive spike in inflation due to the availability of cheap money if interest rates are slashed. Who's right? Well, in one corner, we have a world-renowned economist who handled the worst inflationary crisis in decades without triggering a recession. And in the other corner is the dude who doesn't seem to understand that additional costs in the supply chain raise retail prices, and doesn't seem to understand that drill baby drill doesn't lower gasoline prices, or who thinks pump price for gas right now is $1.99. With qualifications like that, it's very hard to tell who would have a better grasp on the nationwide economic picture. Since Powell won't cater to his bizarre economic plans, Trump has repeatedly brought up firing him, which of course is something he has to walk back each time because the markets panic when he talks about it. Why does the market panic? Partly because they know that Trump's plan is the economic equivalent of doing your own research via Facebook memes, and partly because the Fed has to be independent to actually function. If the executive branch starts meddling in the Fed, you end up with an economy nobody wants to invest in because the whims of the president are controlling the market. Or, as J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon put it, quote, "The independence of the Fed is absolutely critical, and not just for the current Fed chairman, who I respect, but for the next Fed chairman. Playing around with the Fed can often have adverse consequences, absolutely opposite of what you might be hoping for." As far as Trump, his criticism of Powell hit new levels of Grandpa Simpson when he said, quote, He's a terrible Fed chair. I'm surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him." If you know, you're already laughing. Biden didn't appoint Powell. Trump did. I want you to really think about that. Trump doesn't know who he appointed as chair of the Federal Reserve, which is one of the biggest economic decisions a president makes during his term. Either Grandpa Simpson doesn't remember who he appointed, or he never really cared to begin with, which should definitely give you pause, because there is no clearer sign that he doesn't understand the economy at all. Or he's trying to blame Biden for something he sees as his mistake. You can choose. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.